many people from different choirs. We came from Spain, we came from Germany, from France. We have people from Holland. We have people from England, and of course we have Belgian people here singing. This song is, or as you all know, is the people song from the musical Les Misérables. The people that sing in this song are the young people in the church, Les Misérables, le roman de Victor Hugo. Ils veulent lutter, they want to fight against the tyranny of the oppression of the kings at those times. The next song that we're going to sing is a Greek song, a very meaningful song, a very important song for the people in Greece. The song was written by Nikis Theodorakis, and it was a very important song for the people in Greece in the period of the dictatorship in the late 60s and 70s. The song tells a story about the land that is being lost, and the people of this song turn to the sign of justice because they have lost their faith in the justice of men, in the justice of the earth. So they turn to the sign of justice to tell how beautiful is our land, and that we don't want our land to be lost, to be wasted. So let's go with this beautiful Greek song by Nikis Theodorakis. now we go from Greece to Portugal. The next song is Grândola Vila Morena. It's a very important song in our country. There are many countries that saw in 1974 very happily the end of the dictatorship in Portugal. This song was the beginning of the revolution, when all the military forces who were on the side of the people listened to this song. It was the exact moment for everybody in the military forces to race against the tyranny of the dictatorship. So let's go with this beautiful Grândola Vila Morena. And our last song will take us back to the 19th century. Ludwig van Beethoven wanted to write his 9th symphony, and finally it was his last symphony, this 9th symphony, and he wanted to give a special message. Not in the symphony, there are also instruments, there are no choirs, no singers, but Beethoven decided, very strangely for that time, that he needed to put a text, some words in that message. He took a poem from Heinrich Schiller, who was a real fighter for freedom at those times, a very famous poet in Germany. The poem talks about all in a single brotherhood, all the people of every people of in the world, all had together in a big kiss, all millions of people all together and happy. This message from Heinrich Schiller has been unfortunately stolen by the Commission, the European Commission. So this beautiful melody And we are here to take it back to the original roots, to what it belonged, to the people. That message of the beautiful melody of Beethoven and the beautiful text of Heinrich Schiller for the whole world. Let's go.